We're up.
Awesome. That turned off finally. Alright. Let's do this, you guys.
Well, welcome back to Surrender Lab.
This is fun.
Tonight's Thursday night. We're doing an event we're calling COZSNUG. Ken, you want to give a definition of COZSNUG?
Okay, actually, let's read it because this is way too good. We've been working on this for a while now.
COZSNUG is a word that we've been
Got
putting together for a while now. And yeah.
In German, they have this word, I don't know how to pronounce it exactly, but it's Gemütlichkeit. And in Denmark, they have a word, hygge. These words mean to like make yourself pleasant and cozy, but not just by yourself, toward others. And so we're like, why don't we have a word like that in English? Why don't we have a word like that, like a universal word like that? So we've been working on this for quite some time now, and we found a word that we've gone back and forth on this, even with technology, and finding out that this could be a word that is universally easy to say and pronounce for most people. And the word is COZSNUG. Like Ashton was saying, COZSNUG is COZSNUG, a mixture of cozy and snug. COZSNUG is a feeling of warmth, comfort, and safety that comes from being in a cozy environment. COZSNUG emphasizes empathy, understanding, and compassion in our relationships with others. COZSNUG allows us to slow down, relax, and appreciate the simple things in life. COZSNUG values human connection and community as a philosophy of living. COZSNUG prioritizes self-care, relaxation, and emotional well-being as a lifestyle. COZSNUG promotes kindness, inclusivity, and respect for all people as a movement. COZSNUG is a symbol of hope and optimism in a chaotic and uncertain world. COZSNUG invites us to appreciate the beauty of the present moment. COZSNUG reminds us that everyone deserves to feel safe, loved, and supported. COZSNUG celebrates life's simple pleasures and comforts. COZSNUG is a new, universally easy to say word that helps us understand being cozy toward others. COZSNUG represents a globally recognized movement of empowering empathy. COZSNUG creates environments where dignity is paramount. COZSNUG is the coziest cuddle blanket you ever snuggled up in. COZSNUG proclaims a new way of relating to the world. COZSNUG is a call to action for empathy and compassion. COZSNUG describes a warm, welcoming, and comfortable environment perfectly. COZSNUG, to make oneself cozy towards others.
Beautiful.
So as part of this global initiative, Empowering Empathy is excited to introduce this word via various co-creative campaigns. COZSNUG is intentionally designed to be a simple and straightforward word that can be easily understood, like we said, and pronounced by speakers of all languages. We wanted this word to be something that we can all actually just embrace as, hey, could we actually just agree with this or not? This concept of, I could make myself cozy toward others if I wanted to. It's just a choice, right? Okay, so that's our definition of COZSNUG so far.
Yeah, it's a great definition.
Then we were gonna,
So the other thing that we really wanted to do with this group we got getting together is we wanted to read the Universal Declaration of Inclusivity, which is one of our main documents that we've written up all together and with the help of AI for empowering empathy. And it's really just kind of a declaration of what we stand for and why we're doing this.
yeah, and it's a message to every single person in the entire world.
Yeah.
This is the epitome of our art and our beauty that we can put off into the world. And we feel like this is the most important thing that we could say to you right now. These words are the most powerful words that we feel like we could utter to all of us right now.
Yeah. I'm going to read right now. The Universal Declaration of Inclusivity. We believe everyone deserves to enjoy living, and our mission is to empower empathy across the globe. By embracing inclusivity, we can improve our ability to see the humanity in others and expand our perspective, leading to a more fulfilling life. Violations of human dignity, such as slavery, rape, torture, labor exploitation, and social exclusivity, must be addressed by embodying the characteristics of inclusivity, maturity, humanity, dignity, love, and reward. Overcoming codependencies and establishing independence is part of growth, but it ultimately limits us. In contrast, inclusivity allows us to live beyond the limitations and captivity of an exclusive worldview. Rather than assuming that others will eventually see things our way, inclusivity invites us to be open and receptive to the unique experiences and perspectives of others. With a student mindset, we cultivate curiosity and willingness to embrace new information and ways of thinking. This expanded perspective can lead us towards greater empathy and inclusivity, enabling us to see that everything is happening for us, not to us. With increased clarity and purpose, we can continue on our journey towards a more inclusive and connected world. We're all going to take a turn reading part of this.
Let's break free from exclusive thinking and embrace inclusivity as a way of living. We invite you to join us on this journey towards a more inclusive world by honoring those we may disagree with and finding beauty in contrasting walks of life. Inclusivity can be a guiding principle in our interactions with others, regardless of differences in opinions, beliefs, or backgrounds. Together we can build a more inclusive and compassionate world for all. We call upon every human being to focus inward, discover their internal beauty, and see every moment as potentially instructive. Creatives and curators are called upon to make art, music, and content that stimulates public discourse, contrasting diversity talk with inclusivity walk, and inspiring us to move beyond self-limiting paradigms of independence, individualism, and self-sufficiency. Religious, secular, and spiritual leaders, teachers, and healers are called upon to readdress and reaffirm their teachings, to promote inclusivity instead of exclusivity. Global and domestic governing bodies, elected and non-elected officials, are called upon to show courage and creative collaborative vision by allocating resources to incentivize inclusivity and impact awareness training for all. Students, administrators, and donors of all institutes of learning are called upon to petition for and allocate resources to inclusivity and relatability, mindfulness coursework. Law enforcement agencies are called upon to replace multicultural diversity training with an inclusivity initiative.
Currency influencers and banking institutions are called upon to allocate unencumbered, no strings attached land, facility, resources, whatever, for publicly available inclusivity education. Philanthropists, innovators, entrepreneurs, companies, corporations, NGOs, and other groups, organizations, and agencies are called upon to build and support sustainable marketplaces that incentivize social inclusivity. Now more than ever, we need to embrace inclusivity as a guiding principle in our interactions with others. Let's challenge self-limiting beliefs. Awaken the student inside. And practice seeing every human as a teacher and every present moment as an opportunity for self-instruction. Together, we can build a more inclusive and compassionate world for all. And we have that in a variety of languages so far.
Yeah. Language is really beautiful, and we're trying to really just spread it around as much as we can. We're trying to make it as easily accessible as possible, because it's really just, we've read it a lot of times. We've put it through a lot of work and going over it many times, throwing it to a lot of people, and we're always trying to make it better and better all the time. And we want as many people to see it as possible, so we can just keep making such a beautiful, pure document that just is all about the benefit of benefits for us, for our own joy, for each other in life.
Right. So part of this whole thing, we want it on Thursday nights now. We're offering this this COZSNUG night on every Thursday night. We're going to be doing this, and all kinds of other COZSNUG events as well. But right now for Thursday nights, what we're going to do is we're going to get together. And for starters, we've come up with a series of over 15 questions that we can ask each other. And these questions help us empower our own empathy. And so without further ado, let's just get into it. Should we migrate a little bit and move into more like a little bit of a circle here? All right, let's see. Okay. Why don't we just take turns like we have been? I'll just go through. Maybe I'll start on some of these, and I guess we can just go through and start having a conversation about them.
Okay, let's pick one.
Number one, what is something that you're most proud of in your life, Ashton, and why?
When I really began my kind of journey into meditation and really trying to relieve myself from suffering and living a more joyful life, I really had a lot of pushback from the social collective of just, that's impossible. You're just may as well be doing a journey that's impossible, a task that you can never complete. And I'm really proud of myself for just sticking to this thing that I felt was right in my heart, even though it didn't match up to any expectations that anyone else was having about me.
Nice.
Awesome.
So essentially, you're proud that you've actually been consistent with the concept of leaning in on the inside of yourself.
Yeah.
I love it. That's super powerful. That's one of the things I'm so admire about you.
Yeah, thanks.
I just realized that we could take that conversation and we could literally for the next several hours just talk about just that.
Yeah.
So, probably the easiest way to do this, we're just making this up as we go. Let's Brandy, you want to say something here? Let's each take turns answering this question for each other, so that we all have a chance to say it, and then we'll move on to the next one.
Okay.
Let's just do that like that, and we'll rotate through them. We'll see
We'll
how far
just
we
let
get.
the conversation be natural.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. What was the question again? The
What's
most
something
thing
something you're most proud of? Yeah.
mine would have to be, just off the top of my head, is probably my entire journey till right now. Like everything. I've never had regrets for anything I've accomplished or gone through in my life because I've gained something from it. And I don't remember if I've had that frame of mind always, but I don't remember a time when I didn't. Always knowing that there's something to learn from every experience, and I love that I have no regrets. I wouldn't redo anything because it's led me to where I am right now at every moment. So I'm proud. I'm proud of everything I've been through.
It's so
It's beautiful, yeah.
goes along the exact same lines of what I was thinking. Like, I was just like, well, this present moment, are you kidding me? I'm proud, so proud. Look how hard we worked on everything we did today. This special presentation that we put together today.
We can do live stream this.
I mean, we're still clunky as crazy with our technology and stuff, but we're gonna figure all this stuff out. The messaging we've been focusing on for so long now are the words, the pure words, the words that can actually help us all. Actually, thank you for sharing that. I love that feeling. That's I would say the thing I feel most proud of is this present moment. I've never felt more proud of empowering my own empathy. I'm the one that just consistently saw all the violent people around me who didn't care. I had to just accept that those external things are actually parts of the inside of me, and I had to wrestle those to the ground. I had to become one with that. I had to become okay with all my demons, okay with all my shadow, okay with coming face to face with my my deepest, darkest self, and just facing it and just learning how to love it. And I'm just so proud of that. How can I not be so proud that I've learned how to not be so stubborn and self-sabotaging, and I've learned how to grant myself love. If I don't have love inside myself, how am I going to possibly be able to share it with anybody else? So I learned that I was receiving as soon as I realized that life was happening for me, instead of constantly resisting everybody as a this or that because of my moral superiority and all my pontification and all my clever philosopher words that I could say.
That's beautiful, Ken. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for listening, my friends, my good friends. Let's see what the next question is. What is one of the happiest memories? What is one of your happiest memories, and what made it so special? You got one, Brandon? We don't have to go in this in turns. We can go in any order we want to. Anybody who thinks of something. So many of them lately. Wow.
I do have one. It's a little one, but it's the first thing that pops in my head. I mean, we have so many. Like, I don't think I have just one giant thing. I mean, I have a lot.
Yeah.
But this one in particular, I remember when my son, Ryder, had decided he wanted to play stand-up bass. I think he was 5th grade. And then my youngest, Easton, would have been 2nd grade. But when I saw him carrying that home for the first time, I was so excited he was taking an instrument, because I didn't have that opportunity growing up. I always wanted to learn music. I was in dance instead. But when he was bringing that stand-up bass home, him and my little guy, who was probably this tall at the time, they both had to carry it like this. When I saw them walking through the park, they were both carrying this, and it looked like they were carrying a mini little coffin through the park. And I wish I had that on video, but I will never remember, or I'll never forget that image, and just how happy and funny it was, and it was just such an exciting moment for me. So.
Yes, that's a good one. I can only imagine Ethan. I'm sure the thing was bigger than him.
It was bigger than both
much
of
bigger
them.
than him.
And they were both these little tiny kids carrying it like a coffin across the park. And they did that for weeks. Till he decided he didn't have to bring it home every single day. So.
Can you think one, Ash?
right off.
I had the very first one that came to my mind. I'll say it right now because it just happened like we were all there. It was just 4 or 5 weeks ago, right upstairs here. And I had a moment inside of myself where I was realizing that we're all on this playground and we're all just choosing what we want right now. Everyone's choosing what they want, and I'm accepting all of it. I'm accepting everybody doing what they want. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And while I'm in that moment, I'm realizing that it's not okay in this little part of my heart where I'm realizing that I've been protecting my heart. And this is just one of the most recent, exhilarating, extremely fulfilling, happy, meaningful moments for me was when I decided that I was going to surrender even that resistance that I felt around my heart, that protection. I felt like I needed to protect myself. And I realized there's nothing to protect yourself from because everything's already okay. And I just accepted it. And I immediately knew what it was like to have an unprotected heart. And I've had this plenty of times before, but I just knew what it was like to be in such intense circumstances where I wanted so badly to dive into the love. And yet I'd been keeping myself from it. And then to have this moment of like just full freedom, unfettering this protection around my heart that I've been holding, just gone. It was like I was just in the middle of just the whole entire, it was exhilarating. And it was a moment in which I finally allowed myself to open my heart back, or all the way open up to my sweet Brandy girl.
Thank you.
And it felt so exhilarating. It's one of the top experiences of my life. Tons and tons of them like this, but this one was like, how in the world could you possibly put it into words? That was just too exhilarating to see that much care and love for myself, to say, yes, I deserve this, I finally deserve this, I deserve this, I deserve this, I deserve this, I deserve this. It took me to be over 50 years old to finally feel that I believe that I deserve to enjoy living now. And I see a whole bunch of people way younger than me figuring it out, and I mean, I was the stubborn one. I was the resistant one. Yeah, so that was mine.
Awesome, yeah.
Do you think of one?
Yeah. I thought of a lot of there's a lot of happy moments in my life, so it was like, man, I'm gonna pick my favorite possible moment I've been most happy. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with, I had this moment when I was first really getting into meditation where I had this kind of moment where I completely dissociated where I felt like I was the observer completely, but in a way that I couldn't take back. And I just felt like I had lost all control completely. In this moment, I just felt like I was going through life, but I had, I had no control. I may as well just be watching a movie theater, watching my life, and I'm just panicking. And my twin walks into the door, and I watch my brain have a thought, and something clicks in my brain that showed that even what I thought I was never had that level of control. So I actually had not lost any control at all. I still had all the choice in the world and just had changed what I was identifying with and kind of released myself from a ton of this negative emotion that I thought was me. And I just have never felt more free in terms of releasing a ton of energy at once than in that moment. Where I was like, I literally said to my brother, I'm okay now. Because I was like, I just thought I was like, I don't know, going bonkers, who knows.
Like the ultimate of relief? Or?
Yeah, like the ultimate of relief. I was like, wow, it's going to be okay.
Nice. Nice. That's an intense one. That's good. Anything else about that? Anything about these experiences that we want to say anything else about before we move on to the next question? There doesn't have to be, but that we can. I mean, I could easily talk about each one of these things for
that was
the longest time.
It was a cool experience. It sent me down this whole path of not trusting it and thinking, oh God, I need to do all this work and struggle to possibly have that experience again, and I just eventually just had to release all that and just learn how easy surrendering to the moment was. And
Which was also you saying, I am in control
yeah,
of everything,
Yeah.
not the other way around.
yeah, true.
Right. Okay. Let's see the next one. What's something you've always wanted to do, but you haven't had a chance to do it yet?
I want to go to Hawaii. I want to surf. I don't remember what it's called, but there's this one wave. I'm not nearly good enough at surfing to try this, but there's this giant wave. It's not the Mavericks, but it's this one place in Hawaii.
Like the North Shore of Maui, or
No, I'll have to find it for a video later. But it's this one giant wave. If you have to be a fucking professional surfer to actually fucking surf on. But I'd love to do that one day in my life and actually do that whole experience.
nice. So we talked about this recently.
Yeah,
and I want to do this as well. Like I've got my body to a point right now where I'm like, all right, I think I can figure out board sports now because I always had this big fat, clunky, disconnected body, and now I want to learn that. Do you want to learn surfing?
No.
Okay. Well,
I used to dive and hitting the water is like hitting cement.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, I'm good without water sports. Ball pits, maybe.
Okay, so surfing. Yeah, I would say that is Bernie. What can you think of something?
I want to travel. I want to travel to other countries and see other cultures. America does have different cultures, but I want completely
You want to be fully immersed. Immersed in that
outside
culture.
of I want to see that actual environment, and I'm extremely interested in old, I love old stuff, old antiques, but like castles and stuff that's been around longer than this country has been. I want to experience and just see everything that's still standing and everything that's working around it. And I have no concept of how different people live outside of this, because I've never traveled outside of the country other than Caribbean, but I don't know that really.
Sounds like we got a surfing travel trip coming up. Maybe empowering empathy on the beaches somewheres.
There you go.
Something I want to do and haven't done yet. I was not thinking about it yet, but
Give birth to a baby elephant.
that would be exquisite. After a little processing that one. I think I want to get into jiu-jitsu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You think? Is this just something
yeah.
you think you want?
Well, no, I've been thinking about it for a long time because my sons do jiu-jitsu. And Bree does. My people do jiu-jitsu. I would love to. But I'm feeling lately in my body, what I'm really feeling is that I want to be able to, now that I know how to actually, I know how to tap into power in my body now. I want to start exerting that, and I want to start really playing around with my physicality, my athleticism. So it's something along the lines of I want to learn how to surf. I'd like to learn how to surf. I recently tried to bomb a hill. Oh my gosh, I should show this video. It's the most ridiculous, embarrassing thing ever. I'm just I'm brave enough to want to get on a longboard, and my buddy just hands me this longboard, and the trucks are all, I don't know anything about this, but he later says, oh man, I should have inspected this board. The trucks were super loose and whatever. I don't know anything about this, and I just get on this board and I start bombing my first hill on a longboard. It was just last year or whatever.
Wow.
And I'll have to show you the video. I almost hit a motorcycle. I made a motorcycle come this way. I'm going down the road, and this motorcycle's coming. I'm just heading straight towards it, and it comes right by me, and I go right by it like this, and I wipe out in the.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm pretty much. I think I'm mostly recovered from that one. So I'd like to go out and get some surfing on now that I feel like I can actually connect my whole body. I want to do whole body movement, things like that. I want to start rock climbing, I think.
Rock climbing.
Those are some things I'm looking forward to doing.
My friend who's really into rock climbing took me to rock climbing gym recently.
You know what I'm looking forward to doing? Big time. Because of my good friends, Cam Bullock, Braden Bitton, several others that have talked like this to me. I said, hey, what's the most badass you've ever felt in your entire life? And I've heard this a number of times now, being right here at the Rocky Mountains with the epic snow. That bombing a hill, like just going through the trees on either a longboard or on skis, or on a snowboard or on skis.
Yeah.
Is like so surreal, so perfect, so pristine.
Yeah,
so I want to have this
You have
experience.
to come with us this next winter.
Yes, I am going to. I will do this. Yes, I'm ready now for that thing.
All you need is $1,000 for the day and $1,000 for skis
so
and equipment. That's it.
We'll figure that out. Yes. Okay. Okay. So this question is a really nice. What is something that you're currently struggling with, and how can I support you through it?
I know what I'm struggling with. I get in my own way constantly, and but it's also very comforting at the same time. It's like
We love our
the timidity, is that even a word? Being timid, but like, I don't know, I'm not quite ready, or I don't know what I'm doing, so why leap without having everything planned out and charted? And I feel more comfortable when, yes, I can kind of see the outcome, but I do get in my own way in life because we don't know the outcome, and I don't know that I'm always doing that, but I do.
Thank you for sharing that. How we talk about this all the time, but now that we're talking about it right now, specifically, is there anything you can think of that I or we could do to support you going through that?
I don't know. I know it's a matter of me, knowing that that's what I'm doing in that moment, which I don't always know. I don't know it until I've broken through it. And it's like, you look back and you're like, oh yeah, now I can see what's happening. But when you're sitting right in it.
Right. It's the balance of planning ahead and, using intuition and just being in the now.
Right.
It's really the moment of it's like on our board. We don't really even believe that choice exists until we are in the now and relatable and aware of love and aware of gratitude, aware of beauty, perceiving all these, with the ability to receive right then, rather than being our stubborn selves that are just resisting and clinging so tight onto our. It has to be this or that way of thinking, or right or wrong. Dualism, it just has to be this way or that way. Everybody's, I know there are good people or bad people, and that's just a less mature way to approach things. And there's nothing wrong with it, because it's how we learn. But we can become increasingly relatable if we want to, and it's a choice. And so, why don't we gain the skill of becoming increasingly relatable? That's what I'm struggling with the most in my life, is empowering my empathy all the way, to the point I'm willing to speak it truth, let myself become transparent and seen by everybody all the way. It's just the thing that it's not I'm not saying, I wouldn't say the word struggling, it's not a struggle anymore, but it's like yes, I love when you guys help me in my wrestle towards, because it only makes it more enjoyable. So I'm enjoying it already. I've learned how to enjoy my ride of healing myself and calling myself healed in all the areas I've already healed. But I love getting help. Like, you guys helped me heal myself recently. We healed my tooth. I had an abscess underneath never before in my life did I ever believe it was possible for a human. I would have always told anyone hey, you probably need to go to the dentist tomorrow or today, right? Because I haven't slept 5 nights in a row because it's an excruciating pain. And yet I'm sitting here toying with the idea that I know that I can heal myself. And that's what's been happening in all the other areas. But, oh my, can I apply it here? Can I apply it here? And you guys just giving me your love and attention and me us all doing it together, it made it go so much faster. Remember when I was only at like 20% healed? And then I was like around 40% healed, and then it felt like I was about 60, and then I said 80 for a day or two, and then all of a sudden it was like, man, this feels about 90, 95%. I mean, right now, I don't feel any vestiges at all of any of that whatsoever anymore. It feels like I'm 100% out of that.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
And we did that together.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done that on my own, because I wouldn't have believed that I deserved it, because I now have this new belief that and observation of my experience, that when we increase our collaboration, our enjoyment in life increases. And now I believe that I deserve to enjoy life. That's why we're doing all this stuff, is we believe that we deserve to enjoy living now, and everyone does. What are you struggling with, Ash?
I struggle with, I don't like the word struggle either, because I really quite enjoy pretty much even the things I struggle with are just like me ironing out ways of becoming more honest and relatable. But I really struggle with not getting pulled into other people's stories and being like, sometimes I'll get pulled somewhere I don't want to because I think I should be there.
Right. Exactly. Like, give me an example.
Like, I don't know.
I mean, I know for a fact you don't feel like that about what we're doing.
No, I wouldn't be here.
The way we always talk.
I wouldn't be here right now.
This is all we live for now.
Well, for a long time, man, I was working at my job, just inside my dad's story, and I got out of that just recently.
Right. Yeah, family's huge.
Even with my family is a really huge part of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, actually, I don't know anyone. Some stuff like anyone calls my name. Sometimes I'll like be way too reactive and just jump up instead of really noticing if that's when the time I actually want to take to enjoy myself, and actually really be present and aware of all faculties of myself and my impact on others.
Yeah, cool, very cool. I love how you approach things. That's why we vibes. Like I'm so attracted to how you approach life like this.
Yeah.
Like a true. Well, you just enjoy the journey as well. It's fun to hang around people who like to enjoy the journey with you and be all COZSNUG. Is there anything else that how can we support you through that, bro? How can we support you through that?
I feel like you two really are empowering me quite a lot. By all people I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what we do for each other constantly, right?
Yeah, I feel like we're all empowering each other all the time.
That's our main new belief, yeah. Are beautiful. Well, I just want you to know, if you ever feel anything whatsoever that you're struggling with, that you feel like somebody could lend us, like, I would love for you to come to me and say, hey, I want you to help me through this. I mean, you do this we all do this for each other, actually.
Okay. Well, we often ask people, how can I help? I mean, we don't know. You don't know, right? Like when you lose somebody, or how does anybody help? But I think it's just saying, hey, I'm present and I'm going to be there for you.
I can be there for you if you want.
It helps us all figure out what we need from each other, because we don't have those answers right away. But I think just the actual having someone that's there just to spend time with, that's what makes the answers start flooding. And oh yes, this will help, but it doesn't happen when we're alone.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I think if we all just knew, if we don't have the answers, this is what I need you and you and you to do. Just say, hey, let's just get together. And it's
that simple, right?
Yeah.
So let's just get together, and then we can just organically let being together be together.
Yeah.
We were like here, and then now we're enjoying each other's presence and company. Now we actually get to add.
Because that is always adding value. Maybe not for a specific, but it's still going to add value to that struggle because you're feeling better.
Right.
So.
Yeah, exactly. It's beautiful. All right, let's see what else we got here. What a great question. What is something that you appreciate about our relationship, and what can we do to strengthen it even more? All right, I'll ask that. What's something, or let's start with whoever. Who wants to start?
I really value most about our relationship how honest we all are with each other.
Yes.
There's a really authentic, honest, very transparent relationship we have right here. And we're all, we're doing this together, and it's all, we're all here because we want to be.
Yeah, it's beautiful to feel like you can have a relating circumstance where there's not, you don't have to have like a hidden agenda or hidden anything. There's just no ulterior anything. It's just pure and hey, we want to relate because we actually vibe.
Yeah.
We're liking the same stuff.
I imagine we just, we keep facilitating, we keep being together, and we keep bringing more people together, and we keep our group keeps growing, and we keep just being more open and accepting of a unique experience. I think that's how we just keep our life just because it keeps becoming more enjoyable.
Exactly, because the more people we have that we're doing co-creating with, the more enjoyable it is. Exactly.
Yeah, that plays into
Yeah.
what I love about you guys are the people that I've met. I've not met more probably positive dynamics than being around you guys in my life. Like there's positive, like the most group settings that are positive. I mean, we all run into different areas of group settings, but you guys bring that in my life. It's the positivity, and the excitement you both have for that. It's wonderful.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
What about you, Cam?
I appreciate that for the first time in my entire life, I feel like I can be around people who aren't actually in the middle of judging me as a right or a wrong or this or that or an appropriate or an inappropriate according to something I'm doing. I just got so tired of that a while back that I just said I don't care what I look like in public. I'm just gonna do whatever I want. And I realized how self-centered that is. I started to, as I started to become more concerned with my own inside welfare and becoming less resistant, I opened myself up to the possibility that I could actually have an actual COZSNUG. I didn't believe in COZSNUG until recently. I didn't believe in it. That word came about the second it was believed in. It was interesting how that all went down. I knew that it was the exact moment. I've been thinking about this for how many years now? I've been talking about we need to come up with new universal words. And we finally, it was already in bed. I literally got into bed. And I was so tired. I was ready to just cuddle up with Brandy and we were going to watch something, go to sleep. And I felt compelled just to get out and just go in, get on my computer, and just figure it out. Just go now, get it off, get it done, get it. Right now, it's time. It's time to figure this word. It's now. It's always now. Why not just figure out the word right now? And it was just effortless the way it all came together. It was so enjoyable, and I laughed and I cried, and then we all shared all these different. We had all these different words that we were playing with back and forth, and COZSNUG just always just rose right straight to the top. And the reason I'm saying all this is because inside of myself, it's the thing that I didn't know it really existed. I always just held it out as an ideal, as something that could happen in my future, but I didn't believe that I was actually, like one of my really good friends right now is recently, he wrote a beautiful piece talking about his life and what his observations were about how other people interact